been building applications with AI lately, you've probably hit the same wall everyone else has. You build an agent, give it a prompt, and it does exactly what you ask. But then you realize something. AI agents are siloed. They can generate, reason, and think, but they have no idea how to talk to your infrastructure or to other AI agents. When you want an agent to read a database, you write a custom script. When you want it to read a code repo, you write another custom script. You end up with a messy pile of custom integrations. The industry knows this is a headache, which is why we're starting to see standard protocols emerge. Two acronyms are floating around everywhere right now: MCP and A2A. In today's video, we're gonna look at what Model Context Protocol and agent-to-agent communication actually do, how they fit into your development workflows, how they solve different problems, and how they complement each other in production systems. Let's get into it. Let's start with how we currently wire up AI agents. If you want a standalone agent to do useful work, it needs context. It might need to pull a text file from a local file system or interact with a GitHub repo. Right now, you write code to do all of that manually. A Python function to connect to the database, another function to parse the file system, and then you pass those as tools to your model. And this works fine for a weekend project, but it scales horribly. Every time you swap out the underlying language model, you have to rewrite the tool definitions. Every time you add a new tool, you write more integration code. If you want to use the same database across 5 different apps, you're duplicating this integration logic 5 times. The technical debt piles up fast. Your agents become tightly coupled to the specific APIs of the resources they're trying to use. Now, this is where MCP comes in. It was developed by Anthropic as a structured way to let AI agents access tools and external resources. Think of it like a universal tool belt. It gives the agent a predictable way to understand what tools are available and what to do with the data it gets back. MCP creates a layer of separation. The agent no longer needs to know the specific details of how to interact with your resources. Here's how it breaks down. First, you have the MCP host, the actual AI application where your agent runs. Below that is the MCP server, which is the piece that actually knows how to talk to your file system, code repo, or database. The MCP server presents a uniform interface to the agent. The agent just passes requests to the server and the server handles all the translation. That uniform interface relies on 3 primitives: tools, functions the model can invoke to take action, like running a search query against a database or committing code to a Git repo; resources, data sources the model can read from, like a static text file, a database record, or live application state; and prompts, pre-built templates that help the model interact with the server more efficiently. Now, for communication, the message format between the MCP host and server is JSON RPC. The transport layer depends on where your MCP server lives. If it's running locally on the same machine as your agent, it uses standard input and output. If it's on a remote server or in the cloud, MCP uses streamable HTTP to pass JSON-RPC 2.0 messages back and forth. The massive benefit here is reusability. You write an MCP server once, say for your company's internal CRM, and any MCP compatible host can use it. When a new language model drops next month, you don't rebuild the integration. You just point the new model at the same MCP server, and because the protocol is open, developers are already building pre-made MCP servers for common platforms like Slack or GitHub and various file systems. Let's take a look at a practical example. Say you're building an automated bug triaging system. Without MCP, your agent needs custom API keys and custom logic to talk to Jira, custom logic to pull logs from AWS, and custom logic to read source code from GitHub. Now, with MCP, the workflow changes completely. The agent sends a structured request to the MCP server, which has tools and resources configured for all 3 platforms. The agent asks for a Jira ticket. The server translates that, hits the API, and returns the details. The agent asks for the AWS logs. The server executes the search and then returns the data. The agent asks for the GitHub file. The server returns the code. The agent analyzes it, finds the bug, and generates a response. It never needed to know how the Jira API was implemented or the AWS authentication flow. It just used the tools the MCP server provided, clean, structured, and completely reusable. Now, MCP is great for giving a single agent access to context and tools, but as your workflows get more complicated, a single agent isn't enough. You start wanting agents to work together, share goals, divide up work, coordinate on large tasks. This is where agent-to-agent communication comes in. A2A is an open protocol introduced by Google at Cloud Next in April 2025. It's now maintained by the Linux Foundation and backed by over 150 organizations. In a multi-agent system, siloed agents need a way to collaborate regardless of which vendor built them or which framework they're using. If your team builds an agent in Python and another team builds one in Node.js, using a different framework, they should still be able to pass tasks back and forth. A2A makes that possible. Now, the protocol divides agents into two categories: client agents, responsible for initiating requests and coordinating tasks on behalf of the user, and remote or service agents, which advertise specific capabilities and wait to handle incoming requests. This keeps the communication architecture clear. With A2A, agents handle discovery using something called an agent card. It's basically a digital resume for the AI agent, a standardized descriptor that each service agent publishes, outlining exactly what it can do, what protocols it speaks, and what kind of data requests it accepts. Client agents can read these cards and decide how to route tasks dynamically without exposing sensitive implementation details about how the service agent is actually coded. Once the client agent finds the right service agent, they need to talk. A2A allows agents to send structured messages, basic requests, responses, or complicated negotiation and coordination steps. And the exchanges are modality agnostic, meaning agents aren't limited to just swapping text. An agent that works with text and an agent that works with images can still understand each other. They can pass image files, structured data, and documents directly through the protocol. Now, the transport layer for A2A is HTTPS. Because it uses standard HTTP, you get all the benefits of standard web infrastructure: routing rules, security layers, load balancing, logging. It integrates into the backend stacks you're already running. The data payload is formatted as JSON-RPC 2.0, and the protocol supports streaming updates using server-sent events. If a service agent is working on a long-running task, it doesn't go silent until it's done. It pushes progressive status updates back to the client agent in near real time. If a task gets stuck, the client agent can see the live progress and decide to cancel it or reassign it. Quick practical example. Say you're building an automated content creation system for a marketing agency. A user asks the main agent to generate a complete marketing campaign for a new shoe launch. The client agent receives the prompt, realizes it's a complex job, and breaks it down. Writing copy, designing graphics, checking SEO keywords. It looks at the agent card on the network and finds a copywriter agent, a graphic design agent, and an SEO agent. It sends task requests to the copywriter and graphic design agents simultaneously. They work in parallel, streaming progress back via server-sent events. And when the copywriter finishes, the client agent sends that text to the SEO agent for review. The SEO agent sends back a structured JSON response with suggested edits. The client agent pulls everything together and delivers the final campaign. Now, the agents dynamically coordinated the entire process through standardized messaging. Now, when you look at MCP and A2A side by side, it's easy to think they're competing standards, but they're actually solving completely different problems. MCP extends what a single agent can do. It provides the context, handles the specific details of talking to a database or file system, and A2A expands how agents collaborate: the routing, the task delegation, peer-to-peer communication. It does all of this in a mature production system. You usually need both. All right, here is a real example of how they work together. A financial institution has a data analysis agent that uses MCP to connect to a secure internal SQL database. The MCP server handles the connection and lets the agent query transaction records. The agent detects a strange pattern that looks like fraud. Now it needs to alert the compliance team and freeze the account. So it switches to A2A, sends a structured JSON message to an internal alerting agent, which then uses its own MCP server to interact with the company's email system and notify the compliance officers. At the same time, the data analysis agent uses A2A to communicate with an external vendor agent at a different bank to verify the transaction. Every time an agent talks to a tool or a database, MCP. Every time an agent talks to another agent, A2A. They complement each other perfectly. All right, now real talk. While the theory sounds great, wiring these systems together is still a little bit messy. Teams are actively figuring out the best implementations, and it doesn't always go smoothly. There's a lot of debate about where context ends and coordination begins. Some teams build massive A2A networks and run into schema drift. Keeping JSON structures and agent cards aligned across different teams requires strict governance. Others run into over-messaging deadlock, agents spending all their time talking and negotiating instead of actually getting work done. Because of this overhead, some developers are skipping A2A entirely for simpler setups. They take an agent, embed it inside an MCP server, and expose it as a standard tool. To the primary agent, the secondary agent just looks like a database or a calculator. Fast, efficient, and way less overhead. So you have to evaluate your own architecture. Simple system with a few linear steps? Well, expose secondary agents as MCP tools. Flexible dynamic system where agents need to bid on tasks, form ad hoc teams, and work in parallel. You need A2A. And as these systems scale up, security becomes a massive concern. When agents are making API calls to internal databases or delegating tasks to remote agents on different networks, you have to lock down access. Agents need identities, just like human users. Yeah, I'm a human user. You need fine-grained access control over which tools an MCP server allows an agent to use, and complete observability to trace behavior across the network. Whether you're using MCP to pull data from a CRM or A2A to coordinate a multi-step design project, authenticate the request, verify the permissions, log the interaction. Whew, so, to wrap it up, use MCP when your agent needs to reach out and touch data. Let the MCP server handle the connection details, API formatting, and security translations. Use A2A when you need to split complex work across multiple specialized models. Advertise capabilities with agent cards, pass structured payloads over standard HTTP, and stream progress back with server-sent events. And don't over-engineer on day one. If you only have two agents doing a simple handoff, just wrap one in an MCP server and call it a day. But as you scale, having a firm understanding of both protocols gives you the flexibility to build resilient, autonomous workflows, which is awesome. The infrastructure for multi-agent systems is here, and it is standardizing fast. Get into your dev environment, spin up an MCP host, and start testing it. Build a simple A2A client and watch the JSON messages pass back and forth. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.